Oh, drops the blood, thank you. I don't get the other reference to the pill and the scale, but alright.
Once upon a time, there were men who were powerful, handsome, and strong. Legendary heroes, known for courage and bravery. Their admirers, so far away, too far from contact. A troubled young girl falls under his spell. Teardrops falling down her face. She thinks that he's the one. Once upon a time, there were men who were powerful, handsome, and strong. Legendary, who were men of fire, courage, and
Yeah, it's an original character, so this is an original character from Dungeons & Dragons that I invented around 2018. My name is 8-foot because I'm literally 8 feet tall. So therefore, having the name 8-foot makes sense. And the last name is Beast because I'm a beast. And this avatar is heavily inspired by a Peter Steele type of negative. I'll show you the full height avatar zoomed out. We just have to pull it up here. It's supposed to be a demon or an emo demon. An emo demon. Yeah, I'm like a demon. Like an incubus. This is my full height avatar right there. So that's what you see, like me zoomed out. Yeah, sort of like an incubus demon. Yeah, you can say that. I mean, my character started out as an orc, so people have described it as like a vampire orc. I mean, there's also this other race in D&D, Goliaths, and also I look like the Goliath race from Dungeons and Dragons. Is it possible for you to play a song? I made a channel. I'm only 12, so don't mock me. I'll check out your channel. generally don't mock anybody on here, really. Not that kind of person, generally speaking, unless I feel it's deserved. I'm not that kind of person. I just sat down so my avatar went into hiding. I'm usually a little bit skittish about playing songs on here. I will go ahead and, yeah. You commented in my chat so other people will be able to check out your channel. So, you've already promoted your channel in essence because you commented on my channel. So other people will be able to see if they come here. But I usually am a little bit skittish about, like, it's the fact that something could trigger, like, I never know what's going to trigger, like, a copyright match or whatnot, you know, but yeah. Why is the avatar in a snowy cold place with no shirt on? Yeah, so this is a barbarian, so barbarians usually look like this. So barbarians usually look like this. You look up like Conan the Barbarian, you're gonna see something like this. But yeah, so I'm born on the winter solstice, born in a very cold environment, so kind of like got used to the cold. I see Phantom Games, you have a song about Cthulhu, that's cool. Okay, you're at Phantom Games Development. Okay. Okay, yeah, well, because you commented here, you already promoted your channel, so if you wanted to promote through my stream, you've already kind of done it in essence. But, Cthulhu is cool, I'm into Cthulhu. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, okay, awesome. Yeah, I'm into Cthulhu, so, Cthulhu inspired me over the years. Before I invented this character, I was obsessed with Cthulhu and, 2017 before I invented this character, and there were aspects that inspired what WTF is this? Yeah, I just explained that to somebody else, so I'll explain it to you as well. Yeah, this is Phantom Games. This is the Avatar React stream, so if I play a song, it might be harder to like chat with people as well, you know, so yeah. Alright, so my name is 8foot because I'm 8 feet tall, and my last name is Beast because I am a beast. I am an original character, and I was invented in 2018 in Dungeons and Dragons, and I launched on the internet in 2020. And I am an orc and a Goliath from Dungeons and Dragons, but I'm also like a demon as well, like a incubus, just kind of a hybrid of different monsters, but mostly like a just giant vampire, like a vampire orc, and I'm also a barbarian as well. So I'm a hybrid of different things, really. Also inspired by Peter Steele of Type-O Negative, inspired a lot of the characters. What the WNT is your PFP cringe name? My PFP cringe name. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Hold on, I'll get to that. Yeah, I'll get to that. Yeah, you're inquiring about my cosplay. I'll get to that. What would you say your style musically or appearance-wise? I have some garlic on my... Oh boy. Okay. Hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna show my full character height zoomed out here. So I know, yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and, the comment's funny, but I'm gonna go ahead and remove that comment. So, my PFP, okay. My cosplay. So, the cosplay was supposed to be of this character, which I do conflate the cosplay and this character, together. So the cosplay was supposed to be of 8-foot Beast, but the cosplay just ended up looking like Vampire Squidward. So I often end up referring to my cosplay as Vampire Squidward or Heavy Metal Squidward because that's what other people coined it as. Other people have coined the cosplay as Vampire Squidward or Heavy Metal Squidward. So I often will just refer to it as that to make it easier to find, but basically my cosplay is this character but green. It's mostly this character but green, but I know that the costumes distinctly really looks like Squidward because the mask was basically like the same shade of Squidward and everything. The mask is Commander Baylock from Star Trek, so Commander Baylock from Star Trek really looks like the Commander Baylock prop really looks like Squidward, and I think that's what inspired Squidward. Okay, yeah, I usually just do short streams like this at night. Okay, I'll check out your channel. I'll check out the song, especially the one with the Cthulhu in it. I'll check that out. Yeah, I remember when I first started making music when I was 12. I was like making electronic music at 12. What genre of music is this? I haven't even been monitoring my own stream, so I don't even know what song's playing. Hold on a second. Oh yeah, that's one of my death and roll songs. Most of my stuff is death and roll. But the song that I'm playing right now really has a lot of like rock and roll influence, or maybe even sort of a funky touch. It's Are You Ready For Me? It's on one of my albums that's on YouTube. Yeah, it's gonna be the 2022 demos or something like that, or 2023 demos. I'm losing track of time. This song is on the 2023 demos album on my channel. This is like yeah, this song is death and roll. Death and roll is a mix of rock and roll and death metal. There's also black and roll as well, which is a mix of rock and roll and black metal. I kind of bleed into both of those categories because I have elements to my aesthetic that are like reminiscent of black metal as well, like nature, and the color scheme I use is kind of similar to like Immortal. There's similarities to the band Immortal here. I was kind of inspired by Immortal growing up, so but yeah, I categorize most of my music as like death and roll. So Yeah, I know, even if I put it into like a AI that analyzes genre, there's like a website that's like an AI that analyzes music genre, it gets confused and it will just put it in like the rock category, and it's kind of funny. And it's not really just straight up rock because I have guttural vocals. I have like death metal vocals, so it's not just straight up rock, but I later on discovered death and roll, and I'm like, yeah, that's what most of my stuff is death and roll. I have been working on, over the years, so you're saying Elvis type rock and roll? It doesn't quite work like that with me. But like, death and roll encompasses a lot of, like a variety of different sound, but I mean, the band Carcass is mostly known for like what death and roll sounds like, but a lot of times it will just sound like Motorhead with like guttural vocals. But death and roll was just basically like the closest category that I could find. But it was kind of hard to categorize, I will admit. But like, yeah. I heard a beep in the background and it freaked me out and it made me like stop talking. I heard like my headset beeped and it freaked me out a little bit. It's a little bit hard to categorize, but yeah, rock and roll actually encompasses like a lot of people will, like for instance, there's this band from LA called Starcrawler. A lot of people will say like, oh, they're rock and roll, but they don't sound like Elvis at all. They sound more like punk. What about blues? Do you like that genre? Absolutely. I had been listening to Groundhogs. I started listening to my own stream to see what songs are playing, but I had been listening to Groundhogs this week. I've been listening to Groundhogs because, so one of the bands I grew up with, Pentagram, has gone viral for this clip of their lead singer, Bobby. Had went viral, so, God, I heard the beep again, what the hell. Anyhow, Bobby Liebling did, like, an interview talking about, like, proto-metal and all, some of his favorite bands, and he mentioned Groundhogs. So, Groundhogs is a blues band, so I have been checking them out. They were known to be, like, a blues band, but they also do rock and roll as well. I think something may be bumping my head, so I'm not sure. Maybe it needs to be charged. Hopefully not. Hopefully it doesn't need to be charged, because I have a lot of streaming to do yet tonight. Well, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I love blues. I love blues, really. I do. I love the heavy blues bands, mostly, like Savoy Brown, is known for, like, heavy blues. Actually, I think Black Sabbath was first categorized as heavy blues, before, like, they became known as heavy metal. Like, when they first came out in, like, 69, I think they were being categorized as heavy blues when they first came out in 69, because heavy metal wasn't even established as a genre yet. God, I'm still hearing that beeping on my headset. What the hell? Oh yeah. I know that it's usually like that in some instances, but things are a lot more nuanced nowadays. Yeah, maybe in the 80s when you had like, I mean, that's still somewhat true these days. It just depends upon the type of person. It really depends upon the type of person. I mean, at my core, I know I'm a metalhead, but I'll still... Yeah, I mean, Rolling Stones, I don't really listen to them often, but I still will like or enjoy a few Stones songs, you know, or like... I'm very fluid in what I like as far as music, but at my core, I'm a metalhead. Yeah, if my headset were to die, I do have another headset, but it would disrupt the stream pretty significantly. So I think my headset dies, I will end the stream if it actually does die, because I've never heard my headset beep before like this. It's only doing it like every 10 minutes, like every 5 minutes or 10 minutes. It's like the beeping sound when I'm muting on my Corsair headset, but I'm hearing it even though I'm not muting or muting. It's really weird. I heard it again, yeah. It's probably due to low battery or something like that. I'm gonna start charging another headset because I have another headset, but I'll have to reconfigure everything. Oh my god. Since it's probably so late, I'll probably just call it a night if my headset dies. It's weird, because I've never heard it beep like this before. This is a first, and it's like totally freaking me out. I was like, I have to think about this logically, like what could it actually be? First I stopped talking because I was like, what the hell is that? Do you sometimes get tired of metal music because it has the same kind of beat over and over? Just curious, try not to offend. No, you're not offending me at all. I'm actually pretty open-minded with... I'm not a metalhead elitist at all. I'm like the opposite of an elitist. I'm super open-minded. I'm like totally the opposite of like somebody who's an elitist. Yeah. I'm like super diverse with what I like as far as like in the rock genre and the metal genre. I pretty much like everything that's in the rock genre and the metal genre. Like, I like a lot of the stuff that's in the genre, but yeah, I wouldn't want to listen to just heavy metal. I like to listen to progressive rock. I like to listen to blues, especially like heavy blues. I'm more so into heavy blues. It's gotta be heavy blues for me. But there's a genre called heavy blues, and that's what I like. I like heavy blues. I'm gonna listen to Groundhogs again. I don't need to monitor my stream anymore. I'm gonna listen to Groundhogs again. But yeah, oh yeah, I've had like various playlists over the years, but I like progressive rock. I like hard rock. I also like to listen to Yes. I like some stuff by King Crimson, Emerson, Lake and Palmer. So I'm into progressive rock as well. I like some psychedelic stuff, especially like heavy, this genre called heavy psych. I like heavy psych. Yeah, I mean, so actually this is more common than you think in some instances, I think, because like there was an interview with recently this band called Pentagram that I grew up with went viral. Somebody got a clip of Bobby Liebling on stage, and he was like having his eyes were like piercing or something. And it was just he had a good stage presence, and somebody got some clips of it, and this stuff has got millions of views. And Bobby Liebling recently did an interview where he talks about all these different bands, and some of the bands that he named are like heavy blues or blues bands like Grumhops. So this is probably more commonplace than you think. A lot of the people who are doing heavy metal will still have roots in rock. Like a lot of the heavy metal musicians will still have roots in rock. So if you're a musician, I think it's a little bit different versus if you're just a casual listener. If you're like a casual listener, or you're like just a casual metalhead, or like if you're a metalhead but you're not actually creating the music, you're not a musician, might be a little bit different. Yeah, the norm might be a little bit different, but I'm a musician, so I draw from all kinds of sources. So I am always seeking to listen to new stuff because I'm just wanting to draw from all kinds of different sources. Yeah, I'll listen to Eric Clapton. I never really had been that into Weezer, but I need to check them out more. Based on their hits, I never had really gotten into Weezer much, but I need to check them out though. I had only been familiar with their hits like Beverly Hills, but I need to go and actually do a deep dive and check them out a little bit more, because I don't want to jump to conclusions just based off of that. But yeah, I'll listen to Eric Clapton. Yeah, I mean, my dad's the one who introduces me to a lot of this music, I gotta admit. Like, my dad has had enough of Bad Love by Eric Clapton on his MP3 player, and I hear it all the time. Like, we're into Cream, we like Cream. Yeah, Cream's awesome. They're basically like heavy blues, I think. So, yeah, I think probably the reason why I'm like this is I'm a musician, so I'm trying to draw from. I don't want to limit myself as a musician. I want to draw from like as many sources as possible. So I think that's why it's like this, because for me, I think that's why it's like this, because like, yeah, a lot of people I talk to, like my metalhead friend on Instagram that goes way back with me, she'll only listen to like death metal and like death doom and stuff like that, and grindcore as it like the only thing she'll listen to. And she doesn't really like get into bands like Yes or Led Zeppelin. I think she finds it boring, but with me, like, you know, I still appreciate those because like I learned to play guitar through bands like Led Zeppelin. I didn't learn how to play guitar through the heavy metal bands. I learned how to play guitar through the bands like Led Zeppelin. There are bands like Nirvana. I learned how to play guitar through bands like Nirvana. So for me, even though I'm a metalhead at my core, those bands still hold a very important place. Like I will go around wearing the Led Zeppelin shirts. Like I have like all kinds of rock shirts. I have Led Zeppelin shirts, and I will go around wearing those even though I'm a metalhead at my core. I still wear those shirts, but like I'm a metalhead at my core as far as the music I make and the aesthetic. I like the aesthetic, like the music. Some of my favorite music is heavy metal. That's where I'm leaning towards. And there's this whole genre called proto metal, which like hard rock and heavy metal intersected. But metal is so diverse, so heavy metal is more diverse than you realize, because it's not just Metallica. There's so many bands that like, and so many subgenres. Yeah, I'll listen to all the subgenres though. I'm always listening to new music. I'm always seeking new music. God, my headset is so beeping. I've never heard it done that before. I need to not forget to charge my headset. I always wonder if Blizzard rock artists like Clapton, Beatles, like heavy metal and that type of genre. Well, what I can say is there's a lot of crossover. I mean, there's a point where heavy metal becomes distinct and, you know, there's no questioning it. But songs like Helter Skelter were proto-metal. So proto-metal is like before heavy metal really became categorized and known as heavy metal. It was before heavy metal was created as an official genre. Deep Purple would fit in the proto-metal category, but a lot of people say, well, Led Zeppelin as well, technically speaking, yes, they fit in the proto-metal category, so there is a lot of crossover between like rock and heavy metal. But a band like Metallica is distinctly heavy metal. Like, there's no, they don't go anywhere else. They are heavy metal. They just are. It's been established. But there's such thing as crossover. You can cross over different genres. Yeah, I cross over different genres, so I probably confuse the hell out of people because they cross over different genres, and I know that, and that's why I'm working on some stuff. I'm working on some new songs that are going to be a little bit more straightforward as far as genre. But yeah, I think the reason why I'm like this partially is because I'm a musician, so you just have a different perspective if you're a musician. Well, at least, like, yeah, in most cases, you're gonna have a different perspective. Why do many heavy metal fans think rock and roll or rock etc. is boring? I'm curious to know. Yeah, it's probably because their perspective isn't as deep or as enriched. I'm a musician, so I know that I look at things differently as a musician, but I think it's just I mean, I think a lot of metalheads are very particular that it has to have a fast-paced beat, like blast beats, say they're very particular, it has to be a certain way. Some people are more particular than others, that it's gotta be a certain way. I think that's also part of it. They just like a certain way, right? I know, I would have to ask somebody who actually thinks that, to be honest with you, because for me, I enjoy rock and roll, and heavy metal, but I'm not really into the Elvis style rock and roll. Obviously, that's like 50s and early 60s, so I'm not really actively listening to that as much. But my mom did play a lot of Elvis, and my mom is an Elvis fanatic. I grew up with my mom being an Elvis fanatic, playing Elvis, so I'm plenty familiar with Elvis because of my mom, so I do have kind of a balanced, unbalanced and well-rounded. I also have taken history of rock. I took a history of rock class in college just as an elective, but obviously it always adds something. But it's important to listen for context sometimes, just to kind of like, I mean, for me being a musician is different, but yeah. I think a lot of metalheads just want something that's gonna make them bang their head. They only want to listen to music that's gonna make them bang their head. So like, if it isn't like something that's gonna make me bang my head, then it's boring. I think that's the way a lot of them think. Not like all of them, but I'm just saying the ones that you're talking about, the particular metalheads that you're talking about, the ones that you're talking about, that's probably the perspective that I don't really know for sure. I can't definitively say because I'm not like that. I enjoy a diverse range of music, but I know at my core, like, I at one point established at my core that I'm a metalhead. At one point I established that okay, that's my favorite genre, that's where I align the most, that's where my tastes align the most, and I always gravitated towards Black Sabbath or Motley Crue. Any of the heavy metal bands, I gravitated towards them the most and identified with that the most. So at one point, that's how I figured it out. But I've always enjoyed a very diverse array of, in the rock genre, I've always been diverse as far as my taste and what I like. God, my headset's so deeply driving me nuts. I think part of the problem is I had done a lot of like short live streams. I didn't realize I was gonna be live on YouTube this long tonight. Usually my streams have been very quiet lately, and I'll just put my headset up and not charge it because I'm hardly using it. But now that like short stream after shorter stream after shorter stream, now my headset needs to be charged. I'm like shit. Oh, I could have just plugged it in. It's as simple as just plugging it in. I couldn't do it. Elvis was such a beast, I have to admit, because if you think about it, that was the beginning of rock and roll. He has a great voice too. Right. I know a lot of people just will come to that conclusion. Like Peter Steele of Type O Negative, who's heavy metal as fuck, who I like look to create my whole character that I have here. He said that like there was an interview that he was on about like shocking musicians or shocking rock acts or whatnot. Shocking musicians, just shocking music acts, and like Peter Steele was talking about Elvis, like how like kind of getting towards your point, like even Peter Steele, Type O Negative, even admitted that. Oh yeah, that's part of my playlist that I'm on now as far as my music. This is the part of where I was creating music where I was just beginning, and I just created a lot of sludge and noise music when I began. I was 13 when I started creating music, and I just created a lot of like sludge music when I was 13. This is from 2010 what's playing right now. It's like when I first started, I didn't even know how to play guitar really. He had a lot of charisma, something you can't teach, right, exactly. Yeah, for sure. I mean, my mom is a testament to that, what you're saying. My mom is an Elvis fanatic, so yeah, I totally get it. Like, it's personal, like, I really get it. I really understand it. I have older parents too, so that may be part of why, I'm sure that's part of the reason why my music tastes are so diverse. I just had, like, it's your upbringing. I think that whole thing you were pointing out with, like, metalheads, like, some metalheads, I think it's your upbringing that's part of it too. Depends upon, like, yeah. Something about your upbringing kind of does it. I have to make sure I charge my headset more often. You know, I actually put the question that you asked me about metalheads into ChatGPT. And I didn't want to go by that. I wanted to first, take a stab at it on my own at first, from my own, experience. My own lived experience, if you will. But, ChatGPT says, the intensity and the heaviness. So in other words, yeah, some metalheads are very particular that it has to be aggressive, it has to be fast, and technically complex. And also, it's often just a certain cultural, it's certain aesthetics and cultural aspects to it as well. Sometimes in heavy metal culture, people are really particular about the battle jacket, so, the music that they're listening to will oftentimes have to identify with that whole thing with the battle jackets, because if it doesn't, if it's not a band patch that would look good on their battle jacket, it's out. It's lame, it sucks. That's the way a lot of them think. Some of them think like that, not all. And also just having, edge and atmosphere, right, definitely, it has to be edgy sometimes, it just has to be, Cannibal Corpse would be more, has historically been more edgy, historically speaking, when I first came out, I think. But, okay, I was born in 1987, so I don't profess myself to be, it was actually, I was born at the end of 1996, but yeah, I just ended up rounding up to 97 and back. I don't profess to be some sort of expert here. I'm not this says all be all to this, okay? I'm not a hardcore historian. I didn't actually live through a lot of this. I was born in the late 90s. I didn't live through a lot of this, so disclaimer, I don't profess to be some sort of expert here, but I do have an enriched perspective. I've been around a lot of different people. I've been around a lot of metalheads growing up, and a lot of older metalheads as well, so I have an enriched perspective. I talked to a variety of different people over my life. Personal preference and identity, yeah, that's what, another thing I was saying, if it's not a band that would look good on the battle jacket, it's out sometimes. It's just gonna be out. Oh, overexposure, right. A lot of rock songs have really been overexposed. But there's a lot of rock songs that haven't been overexposed. There's a lot of rock that has not been overexposed though. I had been checking out the Groundhogs. They definitely have not been overexposed at all. They don't get any radio play at all. A band like Groundhogs isn't gonna get any radio play at all. And people are only discovering Pentagram now because that one clip of Body Labeling had went viral. But when I first started playing doom metal, I had my guitar teacher at the time teach me how to play Sinister by Pentagram. That's how I started playing doom. I always wondered why some metal or heavier metal listeners actually listen to regular bands or normal bands like Clapton, Pink Floyd, The Eagles, AC/DC, etc. But at the same time, people that do listen to those bands don't listen to heavy metal. Generally speaking, but yeah, generally speaking, sometimes yes, sometimes that is. Well, more often than not, yeah, that is the case more often than not, it seems, yeah. I have, my screen's shaking because I'm shaking my leg. I'm getting excited. I'm shaking my leg here. I get, like, enthusiastic about talking about music. This is the first. I've never had anybody come on here and talk about music with me. It's never happened. Like, this is the first. Like, I've never had it happen. Like, it usually only happens on TikTok. It's never happened on here. And at that, like, no one's ever talked to me about it this deeply, even on TikTok. But, yeah, yeah, like I said, being a musician myself, I guess that's why I'm different. That I know that, like, in regards to music, one thing I do well is heavy metal. I, like, can pretty much create the best music, so to speak, in a heavy metal style or in a heavy metal style, so to speak. I mean, I cross-blend genres sometimes, so as I cross-blend, I'm just going to say, sometimes it will, something that sounds like it has its roots in rock, but it's more of a heavy metal aesthetic because, like, the guttural vocals and stuff like that. And then I just tell people, okay, it's death and roll. But I will, when I'm labeling my music, I will put heavy metal and I will put rock because nobody's searching death and roll. No one's actually searching back. I've never really been that into the Eagles, but I do like Witchy Woman. That one's kind of dark. It's more edgy. I mean, in regards to the Beatles, I mean, Motley Crue covered, like, Helter Skelter, so there's a lot of... Those bands were, like, what came before heavy metal, so, like, all the people doing heavy metal got their influence from those bands. Technically speaking, the bands that came before. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's because I'm a musician. I mean, everything about it, like, you know how people, I start to think of, like, people in their football teams, how people can be about football. It's either one team or the other. And I guess people can be the same way about music genres or music subgenres. It's like you're on one team or the other. More so genres, right? They're like, you're either on the heavy metal team or the rock team. You can't be on both. That's just simply not true. That is so not true. That is so not true. But generally speaking, most people, yeah, especially if you're saying that most people are like that, yeah, they got me. They got me. Basically what I'm saying is that it's more common that a heavy metal guy would listen to blues rock than blues rock guy would listen to heavy metal or something. Oh yeah, right. Well, my dad loves blues and rock. All those bands that you mentioned, my dad loves that stuff generally speaking, but my dad's also not really into the Eagles, but I take on after my dad. It's partly upbringing, because I take on a lot of my music taste after my dad, so it's partially upbringing. You gotta have the right upbringing to not be so, like, black and white in regards to, like, how you see things, but yeah. I mean, my dad does like some heavy metal as regards to, like, well, actually, come to think of it, not really. Yeah, you're right. Well, my dad does like Motley Crue. But I think Motley Crue's probably like one of the only. So, my brain just locked up. I know my dad likes Motley Crue because that's like a huge reason why I found out about Motley Crue. Oh yeah, my dad loves Black Sabbath too, yeah. My dad is a huge fan of Black Sabbath. My dad loves Black Sabbath. But it's probably kind of common for the rock crowd to listen to those bands though. My dad likes Dio. Yeah, I mean, it's probably kind of common for the rock crowd to listen to those bands though. Probably kind of common though. But I'll listen to. But yeah, I will also listen to like those bands that are really hardcore heavy metal. Like, yeah. I'll be honest, I identify more with doom metal growing up, like Electric Wizard and Pentagram, but. Yeah, my dad likes the early stuff by Pentagram, but he's not really into the, he's not really into their like, I think that album came out in 1985, their heavier album. He's not into their heavier stuff like I am. But yeah, I've listened to Carcass, like you know, at first, for me growing up, I was not attuned to like the heavier stuff with the gutturals. I would not listen to it at first growing up, but I gradually warmed up to it. It's an acquired taste. I gradually warmed up to it. And a major moment for me was like growing up with Metalocalypse on Adult Swim, and also seeing a similar performance in person at Amoeba Music while I was there shopping for records, kind of like opened up my mind a little bit. I had some things that opened up my mind a little bit, and obviously starting to do that kind of music myself, I realized that I could do those type of vocals and make it work. You like Dire Straits, those type of bands? Nah, I've never really been into Dire Straits. Neither has my dad. Never really been into Dire Straits. Much. Not that much. They're alright. Yeah, Money for Muffin's alright. I'll get it stuck in my head every once in a while. I'm not really into Sultans of Swing. But I haven't really listened to most of their stuff. I just know of their hits, that's it. Yeah, I'm not really into soft rock either. Yeah, that's the point where I kind of like disconnect from the rock genre. I start to disconnect from the rock genre when it comes to soft rock. I never really been into soft rock. Never been like a soft rock guy. Obviously, I mean, being into heavy metal, it would be kind of contradictory, but oh no, you can be. I mean, you can. Peter Steele of Type O Negative, like, he covered Summer Breeze. I mean, so famous. You can be really, you know, it can be very diverse towards what you like, but actually, the type of music that you identify most with heavy metal, but you can still listen to that other stuff. But you're a musician, that's usually when it happens. Yeah, Pantera's considered heavy metal, of course. They were like one of the pioneer bands in the heavy metal genre, like the 90s. Yeah, I mean they changed. They kind of changed the landscape for heavy metal, so to speak, in the 90s. So I wasn't really alive and conscious when they were like coming to prominence much, but when I was younger, they were still relevant. And I remember when Dimebag like got shot. I remember that. Yeah, it's a bad memory, but I do remember hearing about it somehow. I was very young, but I remember hearing about it somehow. I don't remember. I think it was the radio or something, but yeah, I think that's how I heard about Pantera too. I didn't know who Pantera was. But yeah, they're one of the core, like, heavy metal bands. They're, like, really important. They are very important heavy metal bands. They, like, the harder and aggressive vocals, like, they kind of pioneered that. The very hard-hitting, like, yeah, where you, like, yell more in the vocals, they, like, pioneered that. They changed the heavy metal scene. No, it's okay. Don't worry about it. You're talking to the right person. You're all good. Yeah. I think Marilyn Manson. Yeah, and I'd say for Manson, maybe like industrial and heavy metal, but I definitely say like Manson partially belongs to heavy metal. But what you gotta realize is that people genre blend. So sometimes, a lot of times, like somebody will belong to more than one genre, you know, and yeah, you know, like they'll do heavy metal, but also like, you know, industrial. Okay, according to Wikipedia, the voice, hey, what's going on? How's it going? How you doing? Oh, thanks. Yeah, Wikipedia says the genres that Manson is in is industrial rock, industrial metal, gothic rock, alternative metal, shock rock. So there you go, rock and metal both. My headset's beeping a lot and it's getting kind of late, so I may have to go soon, but AP2324, if you're on social media, like if you're on Instagram or TikTok, we could talk about this some more. Something like that. Yeah, maybe in more places in the future as well. I have an email on my website as well. Love your avatar. Did you design it yourself? I did the 2D drawings. I did the 2D drawings for my character. They're on my website, afootbeast.com, but someone on Fiverr did the actual like 3D modeling because I can't do it. I couldn't do it. But I mean, you could say yes, I designed the character myself. I just didn't 3D model it. Yes, this is an original character. I just didn't 3D model. See, that's what confuses me. Industrial metal, like, how do people even tell the difference? It makes my brain hurt a little bit. Right. Well, industrial will have certain qualities to it. So, whatever those qualities are that industrial has, usually a lot of, like, synth and, like, I think industrial's influenced by new wave as well, and gothic, genres. Yeah, I'm not really an expert on industrial though, but yeah, so industrial have certain identifying qualities, so you have to look at a genre and see, like, what is this genre's identifying qualities. But, so a song can be, you can listen to a song and be like, okay, this has a metal feel, but it also has these qualities that belong to the industrial genre. And then you get a genre, you get another heavy metal subgenre called industrial metal. This is how, like, new subgenres are created. It's like, it's like 2 + 2 = 4, you know, like 2 being, like, you got, like, industrial plus metal equals industrial metal. It's like, it works like that basically. It's kind of like, I don't know. Yeah, I'll show you my full height avatar. My headset has been beeping for the last hour, so my headset's probably gonna die. I won't be live anymore when my headset dies, probably because it's so late. I do have a backup headset, but to switch to it would disrupt my stream and all that, so this is my full height avatar zoomed out. My name is 8 foot, I'm 8 feet tall. The last name is Beast because I'm a beast. I was invented in 2018, launched on the internet in 2020. I'm a Goliath, orc, vampire, giant, demon. Yeah, I'm all kinds of things, but more than anything else, I'm a vampire. But oh yeah, also a barbarian as well. Industrial would be, I guess, part of how they dress as well, right? Or a certain type of clothing like gas masks and stuff like that. Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes that's factored. That could certainly be factored in if the music sounds a certain way as well. Yeah, sometimes how someone just is like, when I was trying to figure out what genres I am, I was like, black metal, what? But they said like, ChatGPT said like, black metal incorporates nature and winter, stuff like that. Like, I guess I was influenced by Immortal a little bit, and I didn't really realize it was more so subconscious. So I was like, so I mean, I wouldn't say my stuff actually is black metal, because black metal is a very distinct style. I wouldn't actually say my stuff is actually black metal, but there are certain aspects of my work that is inspired by it, so to speak. So, but yeah, it's even difficult to categorize my stuff, but I just say that it's like death and roll or black and roll or something like that, and that kind of gets to the main idea. But then again, if you explore the death and roll genre, a lot of it sounds like Motorhead, and my stuff doesn't sound like Motorhead at all. Okay. Yeah, follow my socials. Yeah, we could talk about this on my socials. I have an email as well. Yeah, I may be, doing more in the future to expand my community as well. But... yeah. Yeah, just follow my socials for now. I'm about to tell you something though. Since you're new here and you said you don't follow my socials, I often will go live on TikTok as well, but I often do TikTok and YouTube separately these days. So if you follow me on TikTok, I will be going live on there because I'm cleaning and I'm gonna probably do that. But since my headset's beeping a lot when I go live on TikTok, I'm gonna see if I can switch to a different headset. When I go live on TikTok next, I'll see if I can switch to a different headset. But I often go on TikTok a lot more. I will favor TikTok because I have like over 1,000 followers on TikTok, and that's where I get the most traction. That's where I get the most discoverability. And some people had gifted me, so I'm waiting to get my $3. I'm waiting for TikTok to pay me my $3, so I often favor TikTok. So you catch me live a lot more on like TikTok. Because TikTok, I do like short one-off streams. Like when I know I can only be live for a couple hours, I go on TikTok. When I know I can't be live continuously, non-stop, I'll go on TikTok. And it's all different times during the day. So what genre is Motorhead before you leave? They're categorized as speed metal, but they're definitely very influenced by like blues and rock and roll. They're very influenced by blues and rock and roll. Some people will say they're like rock and roll, but they're actually like I've known Motorhead to be speed metal. As you can see, my music's all over the place. The stuff that's playing right now is stuff that I created when I was younger. And this was more rock and roll or more rock. I know when I say rock and roll, people think it's Elvis, but some people like think it's Elvis. But the term rock and roll is used very broadly sometimes. Like I said, there's this band Starcrawler from Los Angeles, and people will say they're rock and roll, but their music sounds more like punk glam. So rock and roll is a term that's used so broadly. Do you think they would be closely related to hard rock? Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely, I think, yeah. Motorhead, a lot of people know them to be like heavy metal, but yeah, I mean, their sound is derived from hard rock. More than other metal bands, probably. Their sound is really, really derived from hard rock. Yeah. I mean, some people even think AC/DC is heavy metal. But they're hard rock. This is the longest I went live on YouTube in a while. You're actually you're interesting enough so that you're interesting enough to the point where I'll go live a little bit longer after being on a trend of only going live for 15 minutes. Like I have been going live for only 15 minutes for like pretty much all of this year and late last year. And you broke that. You actually broke my 15-minute streak. You got me to go live for you've gotten me to go live for over an hour now. And I usually never do that on YouTube these days. Like this year, I've never done that. Yeah, my life is kind of messed up. My schedule's kind of messed up. I've been sleeping a lot and I've been kind of sluggish and I just been very slow to fire up to go live. And I've been going live at like midnight lately. The audience that I used to have was accustomed to me going live at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now I'm going at like 12 a.m. Pacific Standard Time like every night now. Especially like this year. This has been a big trend for like this year. What genre would Bon Jovi and those 80s bands be considered? That's a genre called glam metal. That's another heavy metal subgenre, but it's called glam metal. But Bon Jovi, I know they're very kind of pop. I mean, there's also a subgenre called arena rock. I mean, I don't know Bon Jovi. I know Foreigner, I think, is arena rock. I think Foreigner is actually the arena rock genre, but I'm not sure. Yeah, AP2324, if you get on my TikTok, let me know who you are on YouTube or private conversation, let me know, because I'm not gonna know unless you let me know, or like your username is a set of numbers and letters. I don't even know how long I would remember your username. But yeah, just if you catch me on social media, on Instagram or TikTok, just let me know like what our conversation was and I'll remember. Corner, the one song that sang Cold as Ice. Yeah, that was one of the hits. The devil doesn't sound like this. He doesn't speak English, first of all. And second, he doesn't even have a voice. He is within our heads and souls if we allow it. Nice. Did I say I was the devil? Did I say I was? Did I say that? Did I say that anywhere? Anywhere? Oh yeah, you'll have to. I get a lot of different people coming in, so yeah. Well, I don't know. Obviously, you're seeking clarification for the rock bands. I'm sure you know Wikipedia exists and they list genres. I'm sure you know that. So, I guess you're seeking further clarification. Yeah, Guns N' Roses, they came out at the same time the glam metal thing was going on. They often get lumped into the glam metal. They'll often get lumped in with glam metal, but they have a lot of the same elements as a lot of the glam metal bands. They have a lot of those same elements going on. So Guns N' Roses, I think, from what I understand, look, I'm from LA. I'm from Los Angeles, okay? So I have a personal connection with some of the history, but not to the extent that, like, my elders would, so to speak. My elders, I mean, is like people who actually grew up at that time. People like my dad who were actually out here in the 80s, not to the extent that other people do, but I do have somewhat of a personal connection with the scene with Motley Crue and all of that. So, Guns N' Roses is an offshoot of another band called LA Guns. They were originally called LA Guns. And LA Guns was glam metal. So, this would be a big reason why Guns N' Roses, this would be one of the reasons why Guns N' Roses would be lumped in. Because I think, like, Guns N' Roses, yeah, they're connected with LA Guns. I don't know if they were originally called LA Guns. I think that they maybe just offshoot LA Guns. I might be getting that part of my history mixed up, but they're connected with LA Guns. I know that. Yeah, Guns N' Roses, that's a good question, because that's kind of a tough one. They toured with Motley Crue early on. I mean, like, Sleaze rock is a good way to put it. I think that Guns N' Roses is definitely like sleaze rock, which is related to glam metal. They're related. I mean, sleaze rock and glam metal are related. LA Guns is glam metal, so I feel like Kiss is the definition of glam rock. Actually, I more so tend to think of David Bowie being the definition of glam rock, but yeah. But yeah. I mean, there were some of the, well, yeah, I would say, I agree with you on that, yeah. They are glam rock, I agree. If I give you Google glam rock right now, I think the first thing you'd see is David Bowie. Yeah. David Bowie's listed first, so David Bowie's more so the definition of glam rock, but I agree with you, like there's a lot of glam elements of Kiss, so why wouldn't they be in that genre? Yeah, if I go to, like, Guns N' Roses Wikipedia, they say hard rock and heavy metal, but they are an offshoot of LA Guns. They are a spin-off, it says on Wikipedia, they are a spin-off of LA Guns and Hollywood Rose, which is, they're both glam metal acts. So this is why they're lumped in with glam metal. They cannot escape being lumped in with glam metal. They can't escape it. They can't, because, like, they're, that's their roots, their origins in the time period. Oh yeah, Hollywood Rose, I forgot about that, because it was like, that was like Axl Rose's band before Guns N' Roses. Yeah, I forgot about that. War, what are they considered? War? They're kind of like punk rock, but they're also like, yeah, I had to spend some time checking out War, but I'm not like super familiar. I know everybody compares me to War, so I should know. I'm not like super familiar, but I spent some time listening to their stuff. Oh, they're categorized as metal, but thrash metal. Yeah, I tend to agree with hardcore punk, I tend to agree with that. Thrash metal, hardcore punk, crossover thrash. Yeah, crossover thrash is basically metal punk. Crossover thrash is metal punk. Yeah, I think crossover thrash is that's good categorization for them, I think. we're getting really far into the playlist now. We're getting into the stuff that I did when I was younger. This is another one that I did when I was a teenager. Yeah, the early stuff, like songs like this are on an album here on YouTube called Sonic Nightmare, where I just have I have all my early stuff on there before I was 8-foot. All my music before I was 8-foot is on that album. That was all before it was 8-foot for the most part. Yeah. I did some remakes, at the beginning I had to some remakes of some other songs, but yeah, 100% that album that's before it was even this. Where is Screamo music? Yeah, Screamo I tend to say that's heavy metal. That's just gonna be heavy metal. Most of the time I tend to say that's heavy metal. But subgenre of emo. Influenced by hardcore punk. Okay. A lot of those bands are heavy metal, but I guess there's some nuance. Yeah, this is definitely the genre that I'm the least familiar with. Screamo usually is gonna be emo. This is the genre that I'm the least familiar with. I'm the least familiar with this genre, but I mean, I know. I mean, I kind of grew up, I grew up with my peers being into this stuff, but, yeah. I mean, there will be a lot of crossover with heavy metal, but if it sounds heavy metal, it usually is with this genre. If it sounds heavy metal, it usually is. Yeah, I spent a lot of time studying music genres, you can tell. I took a history of rock course in college, and just being a musician, I just naturally inclined to study genres and microanalyze genres. I'm kind of inclined as a musician to do that. I mean, when I was a teenager, I spent time taking notes in journals of various Wikipedia articles, trying to take notes of all these obscure facts about different bands, but I don't even remember. I don't even remember what I wrote down in my journals. I would just spend, when I was a teenager, I was on Wikipedia, almost 24/7, just taking notes on these bands. I was taking notes. Are Backstreet Boys considered heavy metal? No, definitely not. It's just from what I could tell, no, definitely not. I've listened to, I think I've listened to Backstreet Boys a little bit. Don't know, at least familiar with. I think they were pop. They're contemporary. They were contemporary pop in the 90s. I think they're from the 90s. Unless they came out with some music that I'm not aware of. But just judging based on their hits and their reputation, I mean, no. But they're like a boy band from the 90s. Yeah, pop, dance, pop, R&B, teen pop, adult contemporary. I knew they were not. That's definitely not heavy metal. What heavy metal listeners into boy bands like that, they would probably say ew. Yeah, they'd probably say ew, and that's not my cup of tea. I've never been into that. I cringed when Justin Bieber came out. I remember when Justin Bieber came out, like around 2009, I was like, or 2008, I was like cringing. I was really young and I was cringing. I was like, Black Sabbath, turn this off. I was like, turn off Bieber, Black Sabbath, turn off Bieber. I kind of grew up, I grew up being into rap briefly as well, but yeah, I was like anything but Bieber at the time when Bieber came out, like in 2008, 2009, 2008, no, I was like, hell no. Oh my god, I've done no cleaning of my room. I've done nothing to clean my room. And it's 2 in the morning, I gotta get cracking. Well, I never really have anybody come on YouTube and talk to me about something serious or deep. Everybody's very superficial on here for the most part. For the most part, people on here are very superficial, so I was not expecting this. I was not expecting to actually have a deep conversation about music, because people can be very superficial on here. I mean, that is mostly my experience on here. Nobody's like that deep on here at all for the most part. I feel like a lot of heavy metal listeners are Taylor Swift and country music. I'm scared to admit. Yeah, I mean, people have their guilty pleasures. People have their guilty pleasures, yeah. One of my heavy metal friends on Instagram talks about this. Like, she has OCs that are metalheads, but they'll listen to... She has OCs that are metalheads, but their guilty pleasure will be like Mariah Carey. Yeah, and she heavily identifies with grindcore, death doom, and death metal. Death metal more than anything else. Carcass is her favorite band, but she also really loves Doja Cat, and she's like not afraid to admit it. She will feature a lot of stuff by Doja Cat in her stories, and like she's not afraid to admit it that she's really into like Doja Cat. So yeah, but yeah, you were talking about specifically country music. Yeah, I mean for me, country is not my cup of tea. And if I did like it, I would tell you, because I'm very forthright, and anything that I'm into, I'm very forthright with people. I'm very open-minded, I'm very forthright. I don't really have any guilty pleasures, I'm very forthright. Well, guilty pleasure, it depends upon what social crowd I'm around, it depends upon who I'm with, and what the social context is. I mean, like, if I'm talking to somebody who's a hardcore metalhead elitist, I'm probably not going, there may be some things that I'm not going to talk about. I'm kind of freaking out because it's like 2 in the morning and I haven't really made a lot of progress with cleaning my room. Joints. It's so crazy to me that someone could listen to heavy or death metal at the same time and enjoy Doja Cat. Oh, yeah, I know. It's mind-boggling that they couldn't be any more different, right? I know, they polar opposites. I know. Yeah, one day I might go live on TikTok and YouTube at the same time, I guess. For me right now, for like the past year or so here, I pretty much decided that for the most part it's gonna be too much chaos. Too many chats, too many people to deal with, too much happening. And, you know, I've got, you know, part of the problem is like one of the things here is that YouTube people, TikTok people are distinctly different. I've noticed that YouTube people and TikTok people are very distinctly different sometimes. Like, people on YouTube always be like edgelords for the most part, or they want to have the subject matter sometimes can get very not TikTok friendly very quickly on YouTube. It's always like that, so when I go live on TikTok, I have to like watch my mouth because there's a lot of subjects. Like if I were to talk about drugs, for instance, the live gets suspended if I talk about drugs. Or if I talk about the context in like how Peter Steele died because Peter Steele had problems with drugs that led up to his death and his health problems. I was talking about that with somebody one time. And I was talking about Jimi Hendrix and how Jimi Hendrix overdosed on heroin. And next thing before you know it, boom, my live was like suspended or something like that on TikTok. I can't even talk about like rock history on TikTok. So that's like part of the reason why I hadn't gone live on YouTube and TikTok at the same time in a long time. But if I'm doing something special, like recording music, or I'm doing cosplay, or I'm playing a certain game, then yeah, it makes sense. That's like listening to NSYNC and listening to gangster rap. And then listening to gangster rap. Well, a lot of people do it. I think a lot of people do it. I mean, there's some people who will just listen to what's popular. Some people will just listen to what's popular regardless of how out of sync it may be. I really regret not charging my headset. God, this beeping is going to drive me insane. Yeah, this song that is playing right now, this was a funky song. This is kind of funky. So I'm influenced by a wide variety of genres. When I was younger, I didn't have my mind made up that I was gonna play like heavy metal and be actually heavy metal musician. Like I didn't even have my mind made up when I was younger. I didn't know what I wanted to do. Yeah, I got a ton of clips that I need to upload on here from like TikTok. But I want to upload the VR chat clips first, and sometimes I don't want TikTok and YouTube to mix, so I have been trying to be careful. Oh, my avatar disappeared because I'm stepping away. It's like glitching out. It glitches out like this when I step away. Oh, I gotta fix it. My avatar is freaking out because I stepped away. It's like listening to disco and then listening to hard rock. Yeah, some people will do that. I used to have someone on here who would constantly request karaoke for disco songs. I did a lot of karaoke, and I didn't mind singing karaoke disco songs because it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny to sing like Disco Inferno as this character, or like to sing Casey and the Sunshine Band. It's just funny, but yeah. What genre would Slayer be? That's definitely, I think they're thrash metal. They're thrash metal. So heavy metal, but subgenre of thrash. Did I actually say Flash? What the hell's wrong with me? It's like 2 in the morning. So heavy metal is like the genre, but the subgenre is thrash metal. Do you wear shoes? Yeah, I do. I'll show you, hold on. Oh yeah, that's me zoomed out. I'm wearing platform, they're not platforms, they're combat boots. Oh, it's like 2 in the morning. Okay, combat boots, yeah, I'm wearing combat boots. Those are shoes. I got my boots. I got my boots on. Oh yeah, there's a bit of a delay. This person thought I wasn't there or something. So while do you see, this is why I get confused of the subgenres of heavy metal. If I just listened by ear, I would say Marilyn Manson, Motorhead, War, Pantera, and Metallica were all of the same genre. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. That they're like the heavy metal, but they're in all these subgenres. Think of it as like an umbrella. So heavy metal's the umbrella, but then you got all these subgenres. Ever lets the feet out to bees. Yeah, I mean, you gotta do that. You can't just wear those shoes all the time. It gets clammy. But I've never drawn it or illustrated it, though. I've never drawn or illustrated my character's feet, though. I mean, I have been, dealing with a lot as an artist and as a creator, and I always had other priorities. I didn't ever feel it was important, but yeah, yeah, I probably should draw, like, a full, like, I should draw this character, like with the barbarian garb, but with the shoes off, just so people can see the monster feet. Yeah, I should probably do, yeah, maybe that will be the next project I work on in the background. God, the beeping on my headsets. I don't know how much more of this beeping I can take. God, this is driving me nuts. Oh, hello there. What's good? So, how's it going? How you doing? Oh, good team. I haven't seen you in a while. I've been live for like almost 2 hours and my headset's beeping in my ear because I haven't been charging it because I've only been doing like 15-minute live streams and I haven't really been charging my headset and it's like beeping in my ear and it's like driving me nuts. Twilight for work. Oh my god. No, I'm not into that. Oh my god. I'm not into that now. Why does Marilyn Manson look grotesque? Is that like what his music genre try to portray? Well, Marilyn Manson is a shock rocker, so that's part of it. Also being gothic, and like goth, that's part of it. But I don't know. I can't explain it any more than that. Alright, in about 12 minutes I'll reach the 2-hour mark, so when I reach the 2-hour mark, I gotta get off of here because this headset, I gotta switch to another headset because it's beeping. If I can switch to another headset, that would be good. This beeping is driving me nuts. Yeah, in 2 minutes I'll reach the 2-hour mark. This headset beeping is driving me nuts. This beeping. If I could switch my headset out, that would be best. Is this beeping, 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 beeping. That's like, God. I'm surprised it's lasted this long since it's been beeping this entire time. I'm really surprised that it's lasted this long considering how much it's been beeping. Just put them out. I'll use it louder so you can hear it. Haha. Yeah. So it really is. It's the anxiety of like, is my headset gonna go out? Is it gonna die? Is it gonna die? Is it gonna die? That's part of it. It's like, is it gonna die? Is the headset gonna die? Is it gonna die? Oh, I know you meant it. Yeah, I got the idea. I just didn't think this was gonna happen, so I hadn't been charging my headset because I just didn't think I was gonna get into a deep conversation at all. I mean, the odds were very slim that something like this was gonna happen, so I didn't prepare. So I didn't think I needed to charge it. But my wireless, I was doing wireless headset because I'm walking around my room cleaning. I dropped two. I have another backup one, but like I said, it would disrupt the stream and everything, or disrupt things just significantly. What? Oh, God. It's like beep beep, beep beep, beep beep every 5 minutes. Beep beep, beep beep, beep beep, beep beep. That's what it's doing, like every 5 minutes. And I'm listening for it. I'm really surprised that I'm going live on here for 2 hours, because, like, this never happens anymore. This is something that I used to do, like, back in 2024, like, when my channel was picking up a little bit. This is something that I used to do last year. But, I mean, like, if I'm doing a music stream, which I haven't had the chance to do, or, like, I'm playing a particular video game or doing cosplay, I tend to go live for a while when I'm doing that kind of stuff, of course, because I have to make it worth my while. So I will go live for a while when I'm doing that kind of stuff, because I have to make it worth my while. And considering how busy I am, when I do get the chance to do that stuff, I want to make it worth it. Yeah, it's like that. It sounds like, yeah, it's like that. Yeah, kind of like a smoke detector, yeah. Yeah, it's a little annoying. It's a little annoying. But I just also don't know when my headset's gonna die. Also, kind of like, oh, it's like, when is it gonna die? But yeah, I will definitely be making sure that I charge it from now on. I'm not gonna forget to charge it now. I'll tell you, I'm not gonna forget to charge it now. I'm gonna remember to charge it now. Like, I'm gonna remember this experience, I'm gonna remember to charge it. Because I thought I was just gonna go live for 15 minutes. I didn't, like, the odds of this happening where I get somebody who talks to me about something deep regarding music, I mean, this is like, this never happens. I never get people like you who come here and talk to me and have a deep conversation about music, like, this never happened, so, and I never thought it was gonna happen. I'm done with this beeping sound on my headset, so I'm gonna get off of here now because I'm done with this beeping right now. Well, hopefully I can switch to a different headset as well. I don't know. But I'm gonna get off of this one because the headset beeping. Oh my god. It's being really late. It does get to a point where it's so late where somebody will comment and I won't even pay attention because of how late it is. Like when it gets to be this late at night, I often tend to drift off and it gets harder to pay attention to comments too. But